Most people are no stranger to the internet. You, for example, given that you're on YouTube. But most people don't use it for anything more than this, eBay, Amazon, and occasionally Wikipedia. And there is so much more to it than that. People have said it's a wonderful tool for academic research, and these people have clearly never used it. For every one piece of academic research, there are 500 more sites that are a complete waste of time. 490 of these containing questionable content. And asking for directions in this great cyberspace is also unwise, given that you're surrounded by people either touting Final Fantasy VII as the greatest game ever made, or those just trying to rip you off. And this is where I come in, to steer you towards some great websites and away from the rabid fanboys and Nigerian royalty. Because I'm nice like that. And because I'm bored. And because the greatest game ever made is obviously Link's Awakening on the Game Boy. Alright, that's enough of MS Paint. Snopes is a useful resource if someone keeps sending you chainmail. It is a collection of all the myths and stories that are spread across the internet with the aim of either proving or debunking them. So next time you get a chainmail saying that MSN is going to close down unless you send it to every single contact, maybe you should check on here before doing so. I never forward chainmail, so I just use it to look for amusing stories. XKCD is the site I was only introduced to the day before filming, which means there isn't a great deal I can actually say. It is, however, good enough to recommend to you. The art is nothing special, but the intellectual content is far above that of most things you'll find on the internet. It also manages to make both computing and maths funny, which is certainly worthy of commendment. Smouch.net. Smouch.net is great. I'll go onto the internet to do something completely different, and I always seem to end up there. PopCap, Miniclip, Shockwave, MSN Games, because they're all the same really, all containing these so-called casual games, the sort of game where you think, I'll just play for 5 minutes, and the next time you look out the window you go, oh golly gosh, the apocalypse / nuclear war / the sun engulfing us / the moon crashing into the earth / Ragnarok appears to have happened while I wasn't looking. And of course, none of these sites have the greatest casual game ever made, which is Peggle obviously, although Fatboy Racer Cookie Factory is pretty awesome. We discovered Google Fights as a mean to answering the extremely important question, who is better, Mr. T or Chuck Norris? It takes the two names, puts them into Google, and finds out who's had the most searches. Of course, we were doing this in IT, and whether or not that's actually had an impact on the IT coursework that I was doing remains to be proven. Uncyclopedia is like Wikipedia, but full of mistruths and lies, which makes it just about as reliable. It is the anti-wiki, if you will, where every article is a lie to be humorous. It does, however, suffer from the same problem as Wikipedia, in that it's all user-generated, which means you'll find an occasional amazing article, but somewhere else on the website there'll be one that is absolutely terrible. The best thing about Uncyclopedia, however, is that it's owned by Wikipedia, which means it doesn't actually get stopped by the filters. I used it as a reference and key skills. I suppose for non-gamers, zero punctuation loses quite a bit of its appeal. Even so, you can still derive amusement from his ridiculous metaphors and his latent hate of everything he reviews. For gamers, you might find yourself laughing at quite how true what he says actually is, as well as often thinking to yourself, that's exactly what I was thinking, albeit in a less witty and less crass way. The almighty Weeble stuff is a treasure trove of entertainment. It contains an array of flash videos and games with a host of lovable characters. Apart from Salad Fingers. I wouldn't watch Salad Fingers. It's also the home of Magical Trevor, and everyone loves him. And now, as a stark warning to you all, 3 places you definitely do not want to end up. Facebook is a conundrum in that nothing ever happens, and yet you spend all your time on it anyway. It's just about as useful to your life as learning the words to a death metal song. Yes, I'm on Facebook. That's only because my scout troop kept sending messages over it that I wasn't getting. 4chan is the scourge of the internet. Never go there. And if you think that's reverse psychology, go there, it's great. I had a wonderful time being scarred for life. I mean, how many places could you possibly find a thread labelled "Post your most disturbing image"? It's certainly an argument for China monitoring the web. Blogs litter the internet. They're everywhere. I mean, you don't care about these people's lives, why are you reading them? The only reason you should read a blog is if you know the person, and even then a close acquaintance. Or if you're trying to stalk them, perhaps. But that's irrelevant. Of course, as far as I'm concerned, the internet's just a means to play Team Fortress 2.